Crown Jewel Perth is in the books, and we take a step closer to, which I think is Survivor Series, the next one. Did any of the matches live up to the hype? Did Cena and AJ Styles deliver? Well, we're about to find all of that out. Crown Jewel, first things first, started with the Australian street fight between Braun Strowman. Wow. Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns. I'll be straight with you. Probably the most disappointing match of the night. Considering the storyline that's gone on around it, the vision, putting Roman on the shelf twice. This match for me just felt like a comedy match, just to hype the crowd up. Cricket bats were used, the Aussie rules football was used. Crowd, by the way, very, very good. And on a side note, before we carry on with this one, John Cena's merch packet from Australia alone. Well, he's retiring anyway, but he probably could retire just on the merch money that he's going to get from that show alone. Incredible amount of yellow, and obviously that's an Australian color, but they're all John Cena shirts. That crowd was just engulfed in yellow, so a great bit of merch money for John Cena. But going back to Broman and Bronson, Broman. Fuck it. There you go. Bronson and Roman's tag team. There you go. Broman. There you go. You've heard it here first. When it happens, I'll clip that uh, for a future reference when it happens. But look, no, Bronson and Roman's match. It was just disappointing. It was just everything that's been kind of. It defines what a Roman Reigns match has been. It was overbooked run-ins from the usual suspects, Braun Breaker, Jimmy and Jay. The teasing the issue again with Jay and Roman. The end of this match, Jey Uso speared Roman through a table. It allowed Bronson Reed to hit a tsunami. It's late. To quote Cornette, it's lazy booking. It's the same old shit. Like we're seeing this. We saw this 3 years ago, and we're seeing it now in 2025. It's just not what we want. I mean, not what I personally want to be seeing. That match should have been a real fight, in a lot of ways. I'm just really disappointed with it. I feel like it's just going through the motions now with Roman and everybody else, and yeah, it was all right. I mean, a big win for Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed joins a list of a few wrestlers, Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa, that have pinned Roman Reigns in the last few years cleanly in a one-on-one match. Um, but other than that, it really just big letdown, really. As I said, they teased the thing with Roman and Jay. Roman Reigns coming out. There was a bit at the end there with Jimmy, Jay, and Roman. And Roman was like, "I love you guys, but I don't want to see you to Christmas." And it was like, "Well, you're probably going to see him at Survivor Series, Roman, which is actually Thanksgiving, so that's kind of their Christmas over in the States." But yeah, and then Jay walked out on Jimmy, and it's just like we've seen this shit before, and it's just not as impactful as it was a few years ago when it was happening, when they had done those 30-minute segments on SmackDown that we used to love watching. It's nowhere near that anymore. It's nowhere near as impactful. It's nowhere near as fun. It's been done. Try and think of something different to do, maybe. It just wasn't great. I sound like a grumpy old man, like I said to Wheezy Blonde. But that's what it is. You know, big win for Bronson Reed. Don't get me wrong. Anyone that pins Roman Reigns, big. It's a big deal. And but the match itself was just a load of rubbish, to be quite honest with you. And it's not a hit at Bronson or Roman, to be quite honest with you. It's just the way that the match was planned out. It just wasn't that great. Anyway, I digress. Women's Crown Jewel match. By the way, that match was the only match I predicted wrong in the predictions that went out on our channel. So, and I was umming and I, not that I, they're not an excuse. I was umming and ahhing between the two. Funny enough, I was umming and ahhing between the two on this one. that I actually predicted right in the end. Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton. Um, real fun little sprint between these two. I wasn't sure if Tiffany was legitimately hurt when she went for a moonsault and Stephanie put the knees up to the back of her head. It looked like there may have been an issue there. But it was a fun sprint while it lasted. Could have been given a bit more time. But that maybe that's another match that we'll be seeing in the future, I think for sure. Two, I say future stars. Fakir's been wrestling over 14 years, but her and Tiffany, good chemistry, really good, as I said, a good little fun sprint in this. But Stephanie Vaquer picks up the victory in this one, and the defeat does Tiffany no harm, no harm at all. Um, she's still the women's champion. Stephanie Vaquer, obviously the Raw Women's Champion as well. So, really, solid, good chemistry. Say solid but unspectacular could be a fair one. It was better than Roman's and Bronson's match for sure. Um, but thoroughly enjoyable. Nothing wrong with it in a lot of ways, which is a nice thing, really good thing. And I'm sure Vakir will go on and Tiffany will go on and have a great runs as champions, as Tiffany already is. Vakir obviously not long winning the championship. So yeah, interesting. Interesting and fun, that one. If spectacular. But guys, honestly, if you watch any match on the Crown Jewel, the next one is the one that you need to see. John Cena, AJ Styles. Tremendous. This was absolutely brilliant. Now, AJ Styles announced as well that he would be retiring in 2026. So at the end of next year, John Cena's retiring literally in a few months. AJ Styles is retiring at the end of 2026, retiring from wrestling. He may still take up a role backstage or whatever, but in terms of his in-ring career, it finishes next year in the WWE. So you're not going to get him show up here or anywhere else. Maybe in TNA, maybe he'll do one something with Leon Slater, which is, kind of not to say been teased, but could happen. Leon Slater could even be in WWE by next year. Who knows? But anyway, I digress. He announced that, yeah, he was retiring in 2026. That was during the preview show they do ahead of Crown Jewel. John retiring this year. AJ throwing back the years, wearing old TNA gear. Bound for Glory tomorrow, of course. Have to get that in TNA Plus. Get it downloaded. Get subscribed. UK and Ireland fans take advantage of that new VIP tier. $9.99 a month. Get everything, including pay-per-views. Anyway, he comes out TNA gear. John Cena comes out. Massive reaction from the crowd, as you can imagine, for both guys. This is a babyface match, by the way. There's no heel turn in this, or there's no heel in this match. Cena has a really good touch, and I don't know if AJ Styles actually knew that this was happening. So they're doing the ring announcements. And forgive me, I think it's Alicia Taylor, I want to say. I'm hoping I get that right. Apologies if it's wrong. Um, John Cena gives her a bit of paper, which is which what was, sorry, his induction that he wanted to Alicia Taylor to give to AJ Styles for this match. And it was the definition of total non-stop action, TNA, the ace and the total boss of the Bullet Club. That one through, AJ. That one through. It is my honor as an opponent to see if he can beat up John Cena one final time. It was the face that runs the place, the phenomenal AJ Styles. That was such a nice touch from Cena. And you know what? I've not been a fan of his run at the early part of this run. Since SummerSlam onwards, it has been near enough perfection, and this match was near enough perfection. Yes, they hit so many finishes of the people that they've gone to war with during their careers. We had Cena with the skull crushing finale with an RKO, a choke slam. They've done Sister Abigail in this as well as a nod to Bray Wyatt. AJ Styles, the accolade from Rusev from John Cena as well. He tried the punk kick. There was a bit in this. The crowd were chanting for a 619, and the motherfucker Cena tried it. Styles cut him off. And it was great. AJ Styles hit the Angel's wings, the Coheta clutch from Samoa Joe. I think he even hit a dead eye from Hangman Adam Page actually during this as well. It was absolute perfection in what these two can deliver. And, it's not going to get 5 stars because the person that gives the stars out probably wasn't on his show, if you know what I mean. And that's not a hit at AEW. That's just the guy that does the 5 stars. He's not going to give it. I don't know, they don't give a shit anyway, neither do I. But that is 5 stars for me. It was absolutely brilliant. Do you know what, guys? Look, they're both push. I tweeted this out. They're both pushing 50. This time next year, they're near enough both going to be retired. Cena certainly is. AJ will be very close to it. Drink this in. Oh, Walls of Jericho. Sorry to interrupt that bit there. Walls of Jericho as well in this one. And yes, there was fans chanting for Walls of Jericho. There was a nod to Jericho. There is rumors, we know. And anyway, sorry, I was going to go into something what I was going to say. Both of these guys are pushing 50. Both of these guys are going to be near enough retired this time next year. We need to enjoy these moments. Not even my childhood. This is like my 20s. You know, we're talking 20 odd years ago. Yes, I'm that old. I don't look it, I know. But we're talking like this is sort of stuff in my 20s, just after the Attitude Era. These two defined wrestling in different ways from literally 05, 06 up until literally now. AJ Styles with that total non-stop action. That really is the definition of AJ Styles. And then you look at you go into sports entertainment and everything that WWE believed in from '05 to now. And that was defined by one man. And that one man, love him or hate him, and I did both, was John Cena. But the one word that I will always use for John Cena is respect. And he's earned a lot of, look, they're both incredible athletes. They both delivered an exceptional match. And, just drink it in, guys, because it's not long before we won't see him anymore. And it is going to be a sad day. It's going to be a really sad day when John goes. And, I didn't like it. Unless I didn't like it. I didn't like the way that he was booked before. I booed him out of the building a lot of times. But the one thing, as I said, he's always had, and I've cheered him, and I still cheer, and now I cheer him to this day. And the one thing that I will always say that he does respect, he doesn't give a shit that I respect him. He didn't give a shit that I cheered him or I booed him. At the end of the day, he was doing his job. And he'd done it very, very well. And like I said, the time is up. The time is nearly now. Then we won't be able to see him anymore. And we need to cherish these moments and cherish the next year that we have the phenomenal AJ Styles with us, because he will also be going in a year or so's time. They delivered a fantastic match. It was a throwback. It had a load of finishes. John Cena did indeed pick up the victory. RKO's, punt kick. He tried a punt kick as well. Some incredible moves in this as well, by the way. You know. But yeah, John Cena picking up the dub, and rumors have it. Now, I don't know if this is true yet. If rumors are true, the one championship that I believe has eluded John Cena, I'm not sure. I'll have to check that, but I'm going to put it out there. I believe, I know he has won the Intercontinental Championship. What am I talking about? I'm sure he's won the Intercontinental Championship. I'm going to have to Google this while I'm talking to you. But the rumor is that John Cena at Survivor Series will take on Dirty Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. No, he's never held it. Jeez, he's never challenged for it on television on a premium time event. My God. Okay. There we go. I was wrong. He hasn't won the Intercontinental. That there you go. Survivor Series next month could well be Cena's opportunity. And it makes sense because people were saying, and Johnny even was saying himself, he was going to walk out the last world champion. Well, he'd already won the world championship so many times. That was to break Rick's record. But the one match that kind of solidifies him as the literal god of WWE, the one championship that he has never won, Wow. I didn't, I honestly, I thought I heard whispers about that, but I could have sworn he had won it. But now that is a reason to watch Survivor Series. Assuming that's where we're going. Dominic, the Ultra Heel right now. He's been the Ultra Heel for some time against John Cena for the Intercontinental title. Will Cena do it? That's going to be it, isn't it? Will Cena win? That is a bit like Sheamus, right? Sheamus has never won the Intercontinental Championship, and Cena's the same. Wow, that is going to be incredible. And rumor has it, and I don't know, again, I don't know how these are just rumors that I've been hearing that they're doing a tournament to basically the winner takes on John Cena's in his final match, and that's going to be won by Gunter. John Cena Gunter for a final match, Saturday night's main event. Yeah, it's still a shame that Copeland isn't available, or Batista for that matter. Would have been more fitting. But look, Gunther's fine. It would deliver. It would be good. But Cena and Dirty Dom Mysterio Survivor Series, if that happens, brilliant. I'll be all here for it. Um, Another hometown girl now, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Kairi Sane and Asuka in a tag team match. It was okay. Look. This was always going to be Rhea's moment. Happy birthday, Rhea, as well for the other day. And this is the scary thing about Ripley. She's just turned 29. That may sound, you might, some of you may be going, 29, that's old. Not in wrestling terms, it isn't. That's scary to think that she's only 29 years old. Yeah, this was run of the mill, right? She got attacked at the start. I didn't know she was legitimately hurt, really, with some of the stuff that was going on at the start of the match. It was good. I mean, look, it was okay. I wouldn't go and say you need to watch this match again. This was definitely one for Rhea to get her moment in front of those fans again. The Australian fans are great, by the way. They need to come and they need to do something annually in Australia. They really do. A bit like Puerto Rico and other places. They need to really start, looking at that. But yeah, it was okay. Rhea and Io pick up the victory. It was always going to happen, really. I don't think there was any doubt. Did the Kabuki Warriors need it more? Definitely. And it's unusual, WWE, given the hometown heroes the victory. I know they've done it in Bad Bunny and whatnot in the past, but that's unusual. Normally one of them loses. Sometimes none of them win in their own stat in their own country. Maybe that was a Vince thing. I don't know. But both of them walked out victorious in their retrospective matches this afternoon. This afternoon, man, I gotta remember this was going out. This was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, guys. So this was great for us in the UK. In America, you were just waking up. Well, this is what we have. Well, not this is what we have to do because it's normally we're normally falling asleep. You guys are waking up in the States. Good morning, good afternoon to you all as well, by the way. But look, it was okay. It was okay. It is what it is. Main event. Now, interestingly about this, they've been building up, and I think when I say interestingly, they've been building up to this. My feelings as they were building up to this was always that Seth was going to beat Cody. Um, he walked out on the Vision in the pre-show thing. Paul Heyman was backstage with Braun and Bronson saying, "Don't get involved. If he loses, we know what we're going to do." They were teasing, 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 and I just sat there and went, well, he's not going to lose, is he? They're not going to lose for two reasons. Number one, they're probably going to go to Survivor Series and do some kind of war games with him and me. There's rumors, and there is rumors that the war games from the Vision side is going to be Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar, and Austin Theory. Seth and Austin, I think, were together at one point a couple of years ago, and I'm sure Austin got put back down in NXT and it kind of derailed. Yeah, and he's been derailed ever since he beat John Cena at WrestleMania. I would see that. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. Austin Theory, John Cena, last match. And everyone's going to be saying, no, to give Theory the opportunity to win, not to win because he beat Cena, but you know what I mean, right? To sort of come out of that rut he's been in really since, but it won't happen. But it was just a fault as I was talking about War Games, which is meant to be that. And then it's meant to be the Usos, Roman and LA Knight and Punk, maybe. There we go. But anyway, as they were building to this, and with all this stuff with Seth, and I was like, he's not losing this. There's no way. Like they're already teasing the breakup of the Vision, and the Vision hasn't really even got into another gear yet. We know there's going to be a breakout. We know Braun Breaker is literally all they've got to do is press the button with him. They know that he's going to be a world champion. They know how good he is. Everybody knows how good Braun Breaker is, and it's just a matter of time before that does happen. Maybe Braun Breaker wins Money in the Bank next year and cashes in on Seth. Don't know if there's going to be a champion that long, to be honest. But or maybe he does it and he goes after Cody. I don't know. But anyway, look, we know Braun's going to be the star, so we're expecting that breakup. But to tease it this early, he's never beaten Cody Rhodes in about 3 or 4 attempts, so he was never not going to win. The match itself was really, really good up until the ending. Seth Rollins has done another good thing. He was wearing all of the clothes, like bits of. He's always been this brash guy with these crazy clothes, but these actual outfits today was a combination of all the outfits that he wore during his top matches against Cody, which I thought was a real good thing. Dusty was in there as well, um, which I thought was really, really good. Oh, by the way, just as a side note, really good to see Wade Barrett on commentary again. I know he was on SmackDown this week, but really nice to see him back on commentary. Um, yeah, the match was really, really good. They done a top rope crossroads. Seth may have legitimately injured his arm or shoulder during a bit where he goes coast to coast. Cody is like laying this way on sort of legs hanging off the top rope. Seth from the other side does a diving headbutt, but it looks like his arm or hand sort of goes onto the ropes as he's landing. And I'm not sure if that's done any damage to him. And it would be sod's law, wouldn't it, for Seth Rollins? Every time he gets a world title, the guy nearly gets injured. Let's hope it's not a severe. Let's hope it's not serious. Let's hope it's just a stinger, or it's not even a problem. But it didn't look good. They had some incredible moments in this match. But throughout the match, Seth Rollins was going for the watch. Um, and you knew he was going to use it at some point. It was obvious he was going to use it at some point. He went to bring it in the match at some point. He then refused, put it in the corner. And then there was another bit during he was getting more and more frustrated. He couldn't put Cody away. He kept thinking, what have I got to do? What have I got to do? Had the chance to use it earlier, didn't use it. And then finally picks up the watch, puts it around his hand when he's been pushed into the corner. There's the usual ref bump. There's the punch to the jaw. And then there was a couple of, maybe two stomps, a stomp and then a super stomp off the second rope. And that got the job done. Seth Rollins wins and becomes the crown jewel of the WWE alongside Stephanie Vaquer. And they have their moment in the ring. Seth Rollins just gets the mic and was like, revolutionary, blah, 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 usual shit. Um, so the match was great. I enjoyed the match. I thought the ending was just so obviously coming that when it did, it was like the ending was a bit meh, but the rest of the match itself was actually great. Seth and Cody always do brilliant matches, and they did today, but the ending of it was just so predictable and so weak. I know that they banned the Vision from ringside, or Paul Heyman did, but they could have done something else than just what we knew that he was going for the watch the majority of the time. It was a matter of time before he used it. And he finally did, and that was the end of this match. A little bit predictable. But Crown Jewel itself was good. I enjoyed the majority of it. Again, good but unspectacular. If you're going to watch a match at the Crown Jewel, just watch AJ Styles and John Cena. It was brilliant. I loved every second of it. Personally, I know it's been getting a great reception from the IWC. So watch that. Enjoyable show. Yeah, like I said, good but unspectacular is the best way that I can view it. But coming up on our show, of course, we're going to have Bound for Glory. Do not forget Hexodus tonight. Exodus Pro Wrestling presents Hexodus on the NWA YouTube channel, 6:05 Eastern, I think. So get on, watch that. Me and Fiona will be reviewing that on Monday. Like I've already said, Bound for Glory tomorrow, TNA Plus. Get it downloaded, get subscribed, and we'll be back. And I'll be back reviewing that on Monday. Gonna take tomorrow off. Sunday, the day of rest. Jesus relaxed, so am I. But we'll be back on Monday with a fresh week on the podcast. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.